Mark, especially after the first exhibition game, you said you weren't thrilled with your team's rebounding. What do you think tonight?
I'm really proud of our guys. You know, as a coach, it's a blessing. I'm telling you, it's a gift as a coach to have guys that are curious and guys that are humble and guys that want to get better. We don't use the words curious very often, and we don't talk about humility very often. But we have a ton of that on our team. And for these guys to respond to a challenge, we've kind of sitting on this for maybe 10 days, like, we're just not getting where we need to get on the glass. And for these guys to come almost put up 60 rebounds today it's incredibly gratifying as a coach. It's a really important step for us as a team. And we're trying to get to 100. Has there ever been a game with 100 rebounds? Is that true? 100 rebounds? Oh man, I thought I'm usually really good at being hyperbolic, but apparently I wasn't even close. Well, I was kind of being sarcastic about the 100, but maybe that needs to be our goal. And nonetheless, I'm really proud of our guys, man. The very first possession, we missed 2 jumpers in a row, got 2 offensive rebounds, and just as twisted as I am, I was almost like, yes, we missed. And because it gave us an opportunity to kind of set that marker from the beginning. I thought our guys were really good throughout the game, being super aggressive. You think about our 4s and 5s. We have 4 guys that are playing the bulk of the minutes at the 4 and the 5, and they all had 3 or more offensive rebounds, and that's pretty cool. Really, really tremendous effort by those guys.
Mark, Kerr's always had good assist numbers, but he's also put up quite a lot of shots in the past. Did you know you were getting this kind of player who passes up wide open shots to get even more wide open shots, or is this something you talked about early in the process?
No, I knew. I have to be careful. I think I knew exactly who I was getting. I've been recruiting Kerr for, I think, I don't know, 7 years, babe, something. And he, I'm telling you, he's a real special player. He's a really special young man. It's super special for him too, because his mom is here in town, and so she's been here the last few days, and for him to kind of bring that type of juice and panache and skill and excitement and unselfishness and kind of magic to the floor, the emotion that he brings to the floor. You know, he's calling timeouts for our team and for the other team, and heaven help us, but I love him. I love him, and our guys love him. You know, you love him as a teammate. He's just a special person, and he is. You talk about, you know, great teams are built on a group of guys where they embrace kind of their space on the roster, and they make it bigger than you can possibly imagine. And he's trying to do that. He's trying to take his space on this team and make it bigger and be the greatest, you know, well, that's what he said. He said that this summer. That was his commitment to the team, is I'm going to be the best pace guy in the country. And he is committed to doing that, and it's brilliant to watch, isn't it? I mean, it's fun to watch. Yes? It's fun. All the mayhem. So I'm really proud of him.
Mark, I know it's early in the year, but this is starting to feel like a roster where you're going to get a spark from somebody every game, but you may not have a clue who it's going to be ahead of time. Is that right?
Yes, and the game is going to take, when you have guys that are about winning, then you have the luxury of letting the game, of reading the game and figuring out what the game's telling you and how you're going to actually attack the game. You don't walk in and try and have to impose your will stubbornly on the game and try and twist it into knots to try and get where you're going. You actually get to go see how a team's guarding us and be like, okay, great, let's go. Or, you know, see what's cooking tonight and go, okay, what's going. We certainly have a team of really unselfish guys that, you know, I don't like unselfish, actually. It's not the right way to describe it. We have a group of guys that love each other. They love walking in this gym in front of BBN. They love putting a Kentucky jersey on their chest. They love making each other look good. They love cheering for each other. And when you have a group like that, it can be really fun. I think our fan base is going to feel that more and more from this team, and I think it's pretty special.
Coach, we've talked about Kerr and talked about Sparks off the bench, but what does it do for your team when Kobe and Kerr come in together like that and provide the spark that they did tonight? How important is that for you guys going forward?
Yeah, it's gonna come from all different places, right? We have so many guys that can be major contributors. Kobe was ridiculous again tonight. I mean, I told you guys all summer he's the most efficient player in college basketball. He's a 1.818. Is it 8.18? What is 20 divided by 11? Is it a 1.81 or 1.82? Is points per possession? Who's got a calculator? What's 20 divided by 11? I should know this. I'm embarrassed, actually. I can't. Is 1.8 what? 1.818 or 1.8? 1.81. So it's 1.82 then. Don't cheat, my guy. He's a 1.82 points per possession, guys. If you don't know analytics, that's sick. That's crazy. On 14 shots to be a 1.82 is pretty fun. He's just like a maestro, and he's having fun right now. And I'm really proud of Kobe because he is. Like all of our guys are trying to figure out their space and how they fit and if it's going to really work or not. And he's kind of boldly committed to like going and loving this game as much as he can. And he's sort of put together back-to-back games where he's been really special. But that's who he is. 1.18, guys. 1.18 on 14 shots. You know how hard that is to do? It's incredible. It's awesome.
Mark Bucknell.
You guys are not feeling me. I'm getting blank stares. Okay, go ahead.
Bucknell's coach, he wouldn't admit it, but this had to be one of the biggest games of the season for him, maybe for a couple of seasons. Brings his team in. You've got to match his energy level. And you talk about controlling emotions and regulating limbic systems and such. Knowing your team, how good are they in being able to ratchet things up or down? That's going to come into play on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and hopefully we're never ratcheting up or down. Meaning hopefully we're kind of you're right. We got to ratchet up and down to get to the same space every single game, right? And that's artistic. It's way more artistic than it's scientific. I'd love for it to be scientific, but I'm not that smart enough. I'm not quite smart enough for that. So yes, we're paying very much attention to the energy that we're feeling from our guys and where it's coming from and how it gets there. And we're trying to manage our pregame and our walkthrough to kind of compensate for where we might be energy-wise, to try and get to the same place every time. It's really important. We're an energy team. Energy is massively important to us. And there were times tonight where we were dealing with kind of loads of frustration, actually. We had an onslaught of frustration, which was really good for us. And I thought we had some guys, deal with it well over time. Eventually, we'll be able to deal with it quicker. But we had frustration on staff, some frustration on the floor. The game is going to give you so much frustration, and that was really helpful for us tonight. Also, Bucknell's physicality, from like minutes 12 to 4 in the second half, their physicality was tremendous. And that's going to be really important for us going forward, to feel that and understand how we respond energy-wise to that. So we're managing it great. Hopefully we'll do it well.
Mark, their center coming into this game was putting up monster numbers. What kind of let you guys have success in getting him into foul trouble earlier? Was that part of the game plan to attack him there?
Yeah, yes. The answer is yes and yes. He's a terrific player. He's coming off a huge game. We talked about this in pregame, but I don't know if we'll face another center that's going to score 32 points in a game anywhere this season against any opponent. There's not a lot of centers doing that. And he's really capable. He's really skilled. He's a veteran player. He's had he's one of the highest usage guys in the country, so he's getting a ton of catches to work with. So he's got a lot of experience that way. And I thought Mari Williams started the game brilliantly on both sides of the ball. We wanted to attack really quick, and they were paying attention. So we got some trail 5 ISOs, and then they responded to that better later by just sending massive crowds, and we didn't handle that well. But and then on the defensive end, his bailout is kind of catching this bull's head post catch and be able to face up and space the floor and go to work. And Amari was unbelievable at a couple things. One, he would not let him get to his chest. He's so good at getting to your chest, and then once he gets to your chest, he can really spin through your body. Amari refused to do that. Amari was unbelievable with his arm bar, keeping space, and then he was unbelievable about catching the move, and making this a game about his feet and not about his length and height. He was unbelievably focused. He did a great job against a terrific player.
Mark, I know you talked last game about Travis and Trent will find their way eventually, but I'm curious, really goes for any freshman. They're used to playing every game their whole lives. How hard is it when you do get a chance not to try to overdo something and to adjust to that role?
It's hard. It's really hard. It is one of the great challenges of your life as an athlete to kind of be there in it and then come in and play really important minutes. You know, because of the analytics now, these last 4 minutes are just as important as the first 4 minutes, and it really doesn't matter the margin of victory. It's the efficiencies, right? So we have to put just as an efficient offensive and defensive product on the floor the last 4 minutes. If we don't, we get hurt, and those numbers matter in our evaluation for seeding instead of a tournament and everything else. And so those guys have a massive responsibility. This is not throwaway time. They have to come in and be great. And I'm telling you, these kids are built different, man. Like, I don't know if I've had young guys that I don't know if I've ever had the privilege of coaching young guys that are in this situation that have been as great as these kids are, and it bodes well for their future. We talked about it in the locker room after, and every single one of our players has been in exactly the situation they are right now. And it also, if you treat it right, you know, a skilled sailor has never been born of smooth seas, right? Like, it's just the truth. A skilled sailor has never been born of smooth seas. And this is rough waters for those guys in the sense that Travis Perry has never not started a game, much less not played the bulk minutes of a game. And he's got this challenge. He's got these rough waters in front of him right now, and one of two things are going to happen. He's either going to use it as a tool to make him one of the great players in college basketball eventually, or he's going to, you know, succumb to all the frustration that wants to bring. These two kids are built different, man. I know where they're going to end up. They're going to end up really special.
Mark, I understand you guys take things game by game, day by day, all that stuff, but with Duke looming on Tuesday night, from the exhibitions, from Wright State, from tonight, what are you happiest about, what are you most pleased about with your team going into what will be a pretty stern examination?
I like how our guys are responding. I like how our guys, you know, this is the thing. We've been sitting on this rebound issue for like I said, 10 days now. And what an epic response, right? And just a commitment. Like, guys as a group said, okay, we're going to go fix this. It's been really impressive to see when we point our guys in a specific direction about their willingness to commit to it. And that bodes well for us being able to grow throughout the course of the season. You know, we're playing good basketball right now. We have a chance to grow into a great team. Now we got to earn it. We got to work on it. We got to get better every day. But I have high hopes because our guys are willing to kind of take some focus and run with it. They certainly do that tonight on the glass. It was awesome. Thanks, guys.